as nice as it might be to see whether or not my wallet is connected, that's still not too exciting. Maybe we want to see a little bit more information about our wallets. So what we're going to do next in lesson 101.3 is look at a little bit more information about your wallet. And to do this, we're going to make a new component that shows the list of assets in your wallet. We're not going to try to make it beautiful yet. That's going to be your homework, okay? But we can start by just taking a look at how to do this. So just like in the previous lesson, I'm going to follow these step-by-step examples so we have a visual of how to do it, and then that video will be posted right here in the course. Let's jump back over to VS Code and keep going. So step one is to create a new component. We can do this from the command line, or we can just use the Visual Studio Code navigation. I'm just going to do it over here. I'm going to make a new file in components called my wallet asset component this time. Once again, we're providing what you need to copy and paste into this file, but it's at the moment, it's exactly the same as my wallet component. All we did is we're changing the name of this thing. Okay, so we're still using use wallet right here, and we're still just stringifying that response right here. Okay, so the only difference between these two components so far is the name of the component. But we're doing this on purpose. Here's why. Now, if I jump back over to the index page, I can make a copy of this bit right here. And instead of importing my wallet component, I can import my wallet asset component. There we go. That import was added to the top of the page, just like with the wallet component a moment ago. And now if I save this file and I jump back to the web browser, hopefully this is not too surprising. You're just going to see two copies of the same component, right? And if I connect the wallet, voila, they both update at the same time. Great. All right, now the reason I did it this way is because when you're building, especially with some new tools, it can be helpful just to make sure that the plumbing is working first before you dig into the details. Sorry, somebody had a question. So far, so good. So now let's keep working through the documentation and actually make this thing display assets instead. We're going to update this so that instead of using the use wallet component, which I'm going to comment out, let's create a different, excuse me, I said component. I should have said hook. I'm going to comment out the use wallet hook and instead create one for assets. And if I start to type use assets, my autocomplete right here says that I can import this from Mesh SDK React. And that's what I want. So once again, watch the import statement at the top of the page. Click on this. And now we are importing use assets in addition to use wallet. I can get rid of the use wallet import. If I do, and I uncomment this line right here, it's going to give me an error. I'm no longer importing use wallet, so it doesn't recognize that. But I actually don't need that hook right here. All right. Now, the other thing I'm going to see is that wallet is no longer a valid name. Yeah, I don't have any variables named wallet. Instead, I want to look at assets. Let's save that. And let's go back and take a look at the browser. And actually, let's change the title. This is my asset component. All right, so it'll have a different title now. And if I jump back to the browser, now you can see there's probably too many exclamation marks here. You can decide how enthusiastic you want to be. But I've got an excited wallet component and an excited asset component. And now I want to see what happens if I connect a wallet. Let's see. So connect. This hasn't changed, but holy cow, look at all of this. This wallet has a bunch of different tokens in it. It's kind of interesting. And if I connected any other wallet that had any other tokens in it, I would see those here as well. Okay. Now, this is absolutely not production ready. I can't ship this, but at least I'm getting some good information and I can try to do something with it. Any questions at this stage? Okay, so we just did this. We looked at our local host, and this is what I just tried to point out. All right, we've got some perhaps interesting data here, but it's not looking very useful. And what we really want to do is start to refine the UI a bit. Okay. Now, if you're unfamiliar with React, there's just one more thing I want you to see, right? One of the reasons React is popular is that once you build a component anywhere, you can reuse it across your application. And just to give you kind of a cartoon example of what I mean, we saw what our app looked like when I made two different components that really had the same content. But to this point about reusability, watch this. All I have to do to make the same component show up over and over again is just make a bunch of copies of it. And this is not a useful example, but it's just here to illustrate a point. Look, I just repeated this component over and over again down the page, right? That's what you're able to do. And all of those components share the same functionality. Build once, use it as many times as you want to. All right. And this works across different pages of an application, just like it works in this silly example I'm showing you, where we use it over and over again.